Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to talk about an outside kettlebell clean. This is going to be part of a three-part series. We are going to do an outside kettlebell clean in this video, then we're going to do a stagger stance runner's clean, then we're going to do a crossbody runner's clean in 3 videos in a row. These exercises are useful because you'll see the final version of this, you'll see it's exactly like Roman sculptures, famous Discus sculpture from Rome. So we're going to do this in phases because this is the evolution of the idea. This first one is going to have close stance, feet equal, and we're going to swing our kettlebell on the outside and bring it up to a clean. Let's demonstrate. We are going to point our feet straight ahead. You can have your feet relatively close together. If you have your feet really wide, you might go straight into your knee. We're going to consider that generally bad because kettlebells are relatively heavy. You hit yourself in the knee with a kettlebell, you'll notice you're not going to like it. With this exercise, we have our feet pointed straight ahead. Think of this like a skiing stance. Chop your hips, sit back in your heels. If your heels lift up off the ground, get further back until your heels stay on the ground. Your heels are the part that's doing the dominant part of the push. We are going to have our thumb pointed straight ahead on this version of this exercise. We are going to swing back with one hand until our arm is in a straight line with our hip. If our hand is at our hip and we go back, that is the position that we are looking for the back of this swing. You will see people do a version of this with a swing open. That's not this version. Save that version for later. Feet pointed straight ahead, chop back. Thumb points forward, thumb points up. Hold the corner of the kettlebell with the L of your hand. Wrap around, swing back, bring it up to an outside clean. From here, push the weight forward, lock out your arm, swing down, bring it back up. You will see there's a bit of an outside rocket in here. That's why you practice your outside rocket as well. If on this exercise, at the bottom, you find that same side knee collapsing in, move your feet closer together. Think about the widest part of your foot touching and there being a small gap between your heels. Put the instep of your foot all the way together. If there's a slight gap in your heels, that's fine because your feet are wider at the front than they are in the back. Now, at the bottom, you can drive your knees out slightly. Grab, load, catch up. At the top, stand all the way up. Pull your kneecaps up, squeeze your glutes, push your rib cage down. Push the weight forward to start the movement. Push, load, catch. Push, load, catch. Push, load, catch. On this version, we are resisting opening up at the bottom. There are versions that do that. We're just not doing that in this version because we are resisting the rotation. This is not something that's taught all that often because it doesn't really use a deadlift stance. Most kettlebelling uses some version of a deadlift stance. Some people turn out like powerlifters. Some people point their feet straight ahead. Some people do it like Olympic lifters. There's a lot of different versions. I do mine very much like riding horses or dirt biking. I do almost everything with my feet pointed straight ahead and my knees over my ankle in a straight line because that's the way I need my legs to function after 3 knee surgeries. If you don't have knee surgeries, you can do all kinds of other stuff, but you have to be strong enough, no matter what your foot position is, to have the arch of your foot fire. Anything that you're doing, if your arch is collapsing, you need to rethink that. This exercise can be plugged in anywhere you would plug in cleans. If you have a clean program going already, you could repeat that entire program with an outside clean. They will have different effects on the body. We always want to do the normal clean the most because that's our foundational movement. This one is more specific. This exercise is very good for people who do dirt biking or horseback riding. You don't turn out when you ride dirt bikes because things catch your toes and you fly off the bike. The same thing is true of horses. You don't ride horses with your feet turned out. You ride them with your feet straight ahead and your heels down. In skiing, if you turn your feet out, you'll notice it doesn't work very well because skis are meant to be pointed straight ahead. So this exercise is more specific to those types of things. This also works very good for the basics of running development. We'll talk about that in a future video.